We're getting you all the updates over the next 30 minutes on Cyclone Montha. Is expected to make landfall any time now. Andhra Pradesh and Odisha are on a high alert, triggering precautionary evacuations and post-landfall preparations. Let's begin by rounding up for you all the latest developments. So Cyclone Montha is expected to make landfall between Machilipatnam and Kakinada. This is near Kakinada. Anytime in Andhra Pradesh, the landfall process will begin. Cyclone Montha's speed is increased now and the coastal towns are witnessing raids and harsh winds. Wind speeds are expected to go right up to 110 kilometers per hour. The cyclone making landfall near Kakinada is expected to cause widespread damage, and that's why the entire area has been evacuated. The city of Chennai also seeing the impact of Cyclone Montha has led to schools being shut down for the day in the city. Let's take a look at what's happening in Odisha, where the Puri beach has been placed on high alert. No one's allowed to enter the area due to the cyclone threat. Flight operations have also been affected. 18 flights from Shamshabad in Telangana to Andhra Pradesh have been cancelled. Routes that have been affected are those to Vijayawada, Visakhapatnam and Rajahmundry. Return flights to Shamshabad are also suspended. So Cyclone Montha is now intensified. It's a severe cyclonic storm. So you can only imagine the kind of damage that it will create. As is always the case with this kind of a storm, with the cyclone, you're going to be seeing wind speeds picking up, and that's what causes the maximum damage. The wind speeds right up, in this case, to about 110 kilometers per hour. Through the day, our reporters have been on ground in the worst affected parts along the coast of Andhra Pradesh and Odisha to give you a sense of what the situation is and what's been the impact of the cyclone so far. The landfall is going to begin any time now, but take a look at what's been happening through the day. And this is the situation through the day. Imagine what it's going to be like in the next few hours.
Up to 110 kilometers per hour. That's the speed that Cyclone Montha effect is set to be as well. IMD has totally predicted this. Andhra Pradesh government, chief ministers taking stock of the situation on ground. Special nodal officers have been deployed across 19 districts, right from the coastal town of Nellore into the coastal town of Srikakulam as well. You can see just how harsh the sea is right now, and what we are expecting is towards later this evening it's only going to be even more harsh as well.
Well, the sea here is extremely rough and the wind speed is intensifying with every passing hour. Now here the storm, the cyclone Montha has already intensified into a severe storm and just 100 to 150 kilometers away from this particular seashore. As you can see, the impact has already begun. Heavy rains and have lashed the coastal areas of Andhra Pradesh, where the IMD has now predicted that the landfall may take place in next few hours.
The effects of Cyclone Montha are being felt across Chennai, bringing citywide spells of rain. The cyclone's effect is also extended to surrounding districts of Chennai. Chengalpettu, Tiruvannamalai, Tirupattur, Viluppuram, Velur, Tiruvannamalai, Viluppuram and Virudhunagar districts. While there has been widespread rainfall, Chennai has not reported significant waterlogging, fortunately, so far.
Cyclone Montha is almost 270 kilometers off the coast of Andhra Pradesh, and it is actually moving at a speed of 15 kilometers per hour. We are currently standing at a location called as Broken Bridge. On the other side, you can also see how rough the sea is also at this point. And as we speak, this is a location where the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin visited the spot twice to make sure this place is not covered by any debris. In fact, that is the reason you could see so much machinery are at work constantly, making sure that the debris and sand that is collected at this mouth is immediately removed.
This beach remains to be absolutely desolate. Since yesterday, people have not been allowed to come anywhere close to the beach. You can see surges in the sea and high tides could be witnessed, and its situation will only aggravate as we move closer to the landfall time. It is expected that by today evening or late evening, the landfall will occur in Machilipatnam in Andhra Pradesh, but it will also have its impact here in Gopalpur, and this will also be affected. So keeping that in mind, all possible measures have been taken by the authority.
Okay, and remember there is Andhra Pradesh that will bear the brunt of Cyclone Montha, which is why right now all efforts are underway to ensure that there are no casualties when the cyclone makes landfall. The Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu and Deputy Chief Minister Pawan Kalyan took stock of the situation in fact they held a meeting with all officials to understand really what will be the impact of the cyclone when it makes landfall, particularly near Kakinada. The Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh has directed officials to ensure they use tech also to provide all necessary help to anyone aggrieved as a result of this cyclone. Let me bring in our reporters from the ground who've been tracking the movement of the cyclone and getting your ground reports as well. Apurva Jayachandran is joining us live from Kakinada. That's where, in fact, the cyclone will be making landfall. Also, Abdul Bashir, another location that will bear the maximum brunt of the cyclone is Machilipatnam in Andhra Pradesh. He's joining us live from that very location. We also have Tapas Sen Gupta, who's getting us the latest updates from Gopalpur in Odisha as well. Good evening. Thank you all for joining us. Apurva, I'd like to begin with you on the current situation. When are we expecting the cyclone to make landfall?
Well, Akshita, in fact, Cyclone Montha is continuing on its rage as it's all set to make its landfall at around the estimated time between 11:30 and 1:30 tonight. That's the time frame that is being given. The landfall, has already started is what we are getting to learn, but it is still going to take a couple of more hours, over 4 hours for the effect to be actually seen in its, ultimate reality. And that's the reality that we are seeing out here as well. Kakinada, which is one of the closest points for landfall that is predicted here, is also bearing the brunt. In fact, I am at one of these relief centers that has been set up by the state government. There you have a medical camp that has been set up, clean drinking water and medical facilities that have been provided for the people here in Kakinada rural, where I am at. In fact, officials throughout the day have been circling not only this relief camp but also several other relief camps and medical centers as such to ensure that people out here are going ahead and given. Let me remind you, this is also an alert message that is going out simultaneously across mobile phones for the people there to ensure that people in these areas, in these low-lying areas, are evacuated to safety as well. All of these important updates that are being given at a time when the Cyclone Montha is absolutely going to see its full effect that will be going on in just a short while from now.
Stay with me. I'll also bring in Abdul Bashir. He's joining us live from Machilipatnam, another location that the Met Department has warned will be, in fact, hit the most by this particular cyclone. Essentially, the trajectory of the cyclone is that it's going to be hitting just below Vizag. So where Kakinada is, where Machilipatnam is, that's where, in fact, the cyclone, the eye of the storm, will actually pass. So the worst, Abdul, will be, in fact, at midnight, we understand, though the Met Department has confirmed that wind speeds have already picked up.
Well, Akshita, as we can see that this Cyclone Montha is right now moving northwestwards with a speed of 15 km per hour. for the past 6 hours. And right now, the position that the latest bulletin has been issued is that it is just southeastwards of Machilipatnam at a 50 kilometers. It is just a 50 kilometers distance, which the cyclone is right now a severe storm that is approaching Machilipatnam first. It is going to hit Machilipatnam. Right now, where I'm standing, the speed of wind is around 21 kilometers. But when the storm hits, it would be around 90 to 110 kilometers per hour. So that would be the impact, 5 times more than this speed. Now, in this speed, it is quite difficult for me to stand steadily when that the wind during the storm hits the coastal area here in Machilipatnam. It will become very difficult for people also to move out on the roads. Now the power, the electricity has been cut off in the whole district, the area here, and what we are learning is that thousands of people have been already evacuated from these low-lying areas. Now it's not showering, but heavy rains to extremely heavy rains are expected when the storm is set to make a landfall. That is around 3 hours or 3 to 4 hours. Between 3 to 4 hours, the landfall is expected with the speed that the storm is right now moving towards Machilipatnam. So this is a situation right now where 1,419 villages and 44 towns are said to be affected with this cyclone hitting making landfall here, and thousands of people evacuated. All the teams are alert on ground. We have been to the control room where we have seen all the departments working together. Constantly, a nodal office have been set up where they are
I must highlight here that in the last few times that we've seen these kind of storms and cyclones hitting either the east coast or the west coast, we've been better prepared. Our cyclone preparedness, our response to these kind of disasters has definitely improved, and let's hope that's the case with this one too, that we see minimum impact or damage being reported. Tapas is joining us live from Gopalpur in Odisha. Along the Odisha coast also, there is going to be a heavy rainfall as well as very strong winds. Tapas, what's the current situation? We've been seeing your ground reports, particularly along the coastal areas where already wind speeds have picked up.
Well, yes, absolutely, Akshita. We are standing at the Gopalpur beach, and I'll tell you that the Gopalpur beach, it's a partial blackout. A little while back, all the electricity connections were cut off. The towering lights have been brought down as a matter of precaution. And on the other hand, the sea is rough. And if you can see like a small dot of light, that's the Coast Guard ship station. A little while back, it came to that place, and it will remain stationed there. We've been told by the administration as a precautionary measure. And as far as Gopalpur's geographical situation is concerned, whether any cyclone hits directly to Gopalpur or adjacent state in Andhra Pradesh, Gopalpur also always feels the brunt. And since last 1 hour, the wind speed have gained. Gusty winds can be felt, and apart from that, torrential rain also happening every now and then. You can see police is continuing with their patrolling all through the day today, and it's night time now. Absolutely, this area have been evacuated except journalists and officials from police department. Nobody is allowed here to stay anywhere close to this beach, because in and around this vicinity of Gopalpur beach, there are lots of trees, and it has a history of uprooting trees and damaging properties. But today, the Chief Minister of Odisha held a high-level meeting, and he said categorically that the state government has a zero casualty policy as far as this cyclone is concerned. All measures have been taken. Cyclone shelters have been prepared. People in some places have been shifted to cyclone shelter, and other places have also been kept on standby. The NDRF, the SDRF have been kept on standby to deal with any kind of eventualities. Though this storm will make a landfall in Andhra Pradesh, but
Odisha also will be badly hit. It is better to be prepared at all points right now to ensure that there's minimum casualties. I request Apurva, Abdul and Tapas to just stay with me. I want to get a sense of what the current situation is and what's going to happen in the coming hours, because as Apurva, Abdul and Tapas just told you, it's late into the night that you'll actually feel the maximum impact of the cyclone. So what we've seen so far, just a trailer of what's coming in the next few hours. Dr. Mrutyunjay Mohapatra, Director General of the Met Department, the IMD Chief, is joining us on this broadcast. Dr. Mohapatra, thank you for joining us. Just tell us first, sir, considering Andhra Pradesh is going to be hit directly by the cyclone, when will the worst be over for the state?
the severe cyclonic storm Montha will hit Andhra Pradesh coast near Kakinada around evening to night of today. Under its influence, already gale wind speed reaching 80 kilometers per hour is prevailing along and off Andhra Pradesh coast, and near the center of the cyclone it is 90 to 100 kilometers per hour. So at the time of landfall, which will be completed by midnight of today, the wind speed will go on increasing up to 90 to 100 kilometers per hour, gusting to 110 kilometers per hour along and off Andhra Pradesh coasts, and especially the area about 100 kilometers to the north of Kakinada and to the south of Kakinada.
Okay.
This wind speed can cause uprooting of trees, breaking of tree branches, and also large-scale damage to thatched houses, huts, and slums. It can have the partial disruption in telecommunications and power communications. There can be uprooting or bending of poles. And in addition to this structural damage, there could be damage to the standing crops, etc., because of these strong winds. There will be heavy to extremely heavy rainfall, which is continuing during past 24 hours over Andhra Pradesh, and it can lead to coastal flooding, urban flooding, and low-lying area inundations.
Okay.
In addition to this one, there will be 1 meter height storm surge or tidal wave above astronomical tide, which will inundate low-lying areas of Andhra Pradesh, especially North Andhra Pradesh.
So then, Dr. Mohapatra, in this kind of a weather system and the kind of bands that we're seeing right now, what's going to impact these coastal areas more? What's going to create maximum damage? Is it the winds or the rain? What's necessitated these mass evacuations of thousands of people?
It is a multi-hazard phenomenon. So there is the combined impact of the wind and rainfall. And rainfall, we are expecting extreme heavy rainfall, therefore it can cause floods. We have got Godavari river there, the river catchment, and also we have got Bangsadhara, Rosikulya, and Nagabali rivers in South Odisha and adjoining areas. There also heavy to extreme heavy rainfall will be there. So all these can lead to localized flooding, and also river and flooding cannot be avoided. But most important point, another I will tell you, there are many urban areas in this part of the country. So therefore, urban flooding also can be expected. The next one I will tell you, we have the eastern Ghats in North Andhra Pradesh, South Odisha, and adjoining Telangana and South Chhattisgarh. And the hill peaks are also quite high here. So this area is prone for landslides, mudslides, landslip or mudslip. So therefore, we can expect also the landslides.
I want to understand from you, Dr. Mohapatra, I want to understand from you, if you were to compare this cyclone to others, how bad is Cyclone Montha? If I were to compare it to all the other cyclones, the other storms that have hit the east coast of late?
If I look at the recent cyclone, it is very similar to Cyclone Dana, which crossed Odisha coast near Bhitarkanika on 25th October 2024. At that time, wind speed was 100 to 110 kilometers per hour, gusting 120 kilometers per hour, and here it is 90 to 100 kilometers per hour, gusting 110 kilometers per hour. Therefore, impact in terms of wind will be similar to that of Dana.
Okay, understood. Dr. Mohapatra, thank you for joining us. We'll hopefully be able to reconnect with you tomorrow as well to get a sense of what's expected in the aftermath of Cyclone Montha. Through the night, we understand that's when you will see the maximum impact of the cyclones. I want to bring back our reporters on this broadcast. I introduced them earlier. We have Apurva, who's joining us from Kakinada. We have Abdul Bashir, who is live from Machilipatnam. And then we have Tapas, who's joining us from Gopalpur in Odisha. Abdul, I'll come across to you first. What's the situation in Machilipatnam currently? We understand that thousands of people along the coast have been evacuated, largely a precautionary step to ensure that there are no casualties, because in these kind of cyclones, inevitably, we see a whole lot of damage.
Well, yes, the current situation here in Machilipatnam, as you can see, that strong winds, high-speed winds are blowing in this particular area. We are very close to the beach, where now, as a precautionary measure, the nearby area has been closed. Police officials are now barricaded the routes that are leading to the beach. And what we are learning is that thousands of people in the low-lying areas have already been evacuated. Electricity cut off as a precautionary measure is being done. Several shops have been closed in the market area. The whole Machilipatnam area here close to the beach has been shut down. This 5-kilometer radius where I'm standing, completely it's a shut down for the people. Several of them have been evacuated and taken to safer places. Regular announcements and alert messages are being given to the people to stay alert, to stay safe, to stay in the houses which are concrete, not in the houses where the impact or the winds can impact more. Now the winds here blowing at a speed of 20 to 25 kilometers per hour, and like I said, that it is difficult to stand steadily for a minute in this particular speed. But when the cyclone Montha makes a landfall here, the severe effect, then the speed of the wind is said to be 90 to 110 kilometers per hour. Then just understand the impact that it is going to make. And while we were on our way to the Machilipatnam beach, we have seen in this speed, I mean this kind of impact that the cyclone is right now creating. Before its landfall, several trees have been fallen on ground. The highway, the officials were just clearing the highway, the route here by just cutting down those trees that have fallen on the ground here, and several of them are right now making evacuation efforts, relief efforts, where thousands of people have been evacuated.
So we also understand at this point, and I'll bring in Apurva on this, the state government, Apurva, has confirmed that there's also been communication from the Prime Minister to Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu that all necessary help from the central government will be offered to Andhra Pradesh. Evacuations are done. The NDRF, SDRF teams are ready to be deployed. We understand that the government is doing everything they can to be fully prepared for this cyclone.
Well, that's right, Akshita. In fact, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu has been continuously monitoring Cyclone Montha there. Both the Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu, Deputy Chief Minister Pawan Kalyan have been coordinating with teams. Remember, there are across the 19 districts, especially in the seaside coast that we are seeing there, right from Nellore well into Vizag and up until Srikakulam. The entire sea coastal area is being completely monitored as well. Special officers and nodal officers have been deployed in these regions to ensure that the public safety is the utmost priority. Zero casualty is what Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister are expecting in Cyclone Montha. When it comes to respect to public life as well, generators that have been kept on standby, helpline numbers that have been given out, and people who are a little bit hesitant to come away from these most likely affecting areas there, they are also likely to go ahead and be shifted to these residential camps that I am currently standing at, and several other areas as well. So it is a jam-packed schedule there where the government is working against time, against landfall that is likely to hit in the next 4 hours. They're working to ensure that there isn't any casualty that will take place, but they're also ensuring that ultimately it is that if the landfall should happen and the casualties are there, the people are well taken care of by officials who are on ground, who are monitoring the situation.
Okay, so we're tracking very closely the movement of the cyclone as well. So we've got a live tracker that tells you exactly where the cyclone is currently, and we can confirm for you that while you're seeing the bands of the cyclone getting closer and closer to coastal Andhra, and that's on your screens right now, you can see the eye of the storm is still out in the sea. And that will be actually slamming into the coast of Andhra Pradesh, of Odisha also. And that will happen at about 11 in the night is what we're being told. In all, the entire landfall process will go on for 4 hours. It's those 4 hours that will be crucial, that will decide the level of damage and the impact that this cyclone will leave behind. Hopefully, we're not going to wake up tomorrow morning to a trail of destruction in these parts of Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. But Tapas is also live with us from Gopalpur, and he's been getting us those updates from Odisha. Tapas told us earlier that there's been a complete blackout in that particular area. But we're having a bit of a problem with his connection, considering, of course, that these are areas which is experiencing extreme inclement weather right now. And, of course, courtesy the strong winds, very difficult to connect with our reporters. But they're going to be there through the night, getting you all the updates on the current situation, when the cyclone makes landfall, and, importantly, the aftermath of the cyclone as well. Those updates will be coming your way. I'd like to thank Apurva, Abdul and Tapas for joining us. Stay safe out there, all of you. We will come across to you for those updates as you very bravely continue to get us those updates on Cyclone Montha.